This presentation is entitled, What Affects Support for Welfare Spending? The dataset used is the 2012 American National Election Study. The dependent variable I'm looking at is support for federal spending on welfare. I expected this variable to have a high degree of variation because recently, attitudes toward the welfare state have shown to be hugely divisive in American politics. What I found is that a minority support increased spending with the remainder of respondents split in the middle between the status quo and a decrease in spending. Two independent variables might affect this. First, negative racial stereotypes, particularly towards blacks, should affect support for spending. The reasoning here is that since blacks are overrepresented amongst welfare recipients, perceptions of how hardworking they are can affect attitudes towards welfare spending. Secondly, income groups should affect support for welfare spending based on the logic that lower income groups are more likely to reap the benefits of increased spending and thus support it more. The first cross-tabulation looks at support for welfare spending by stereotypes towards blacks. Looking at the column percentages, we see that those who rate blacks as hardworking are more likely to want to either increase spending or keep the status quo, while those who rate blacks as lazy favor decreased spending. There is a clear relationship here. The second cross-tabulation analyzes welfare spending by income category. Again, there is a relationship supporting the hypothesis. Those in the higher income groups are twice to 7 times less likely to want to increase spending than to decrease it. Those who make $20,000 a year or less are twice as likely to support an increase than those in the highest income group, and more than 3 times as likely to support an increase than those in the second and third highest income groups. In summary, both hypotheses are supported by the evidence gathered. This is the syntax used.